We'll be back to the video in just 1 second, but first, I want to show you one more time. We got a new website up and running. It's called revolutionarymotiontennis.com. Link is in the description below. Try to check it out, give it some thought. Maybe we can help you out with your tennis. In today's video, we're going to teach you how to whip your forehands. So first, we have to understand one thing, and let me be very clear here. Most coaches tell you to keep a loose wrist when swinging so you have more flexibility and create more of a whipping effect. There's one gigantic problem with that, and that is that the majority of players that tell you to keep the wrist loose are very strong. So if we're taking a look at Roger Federer, for example, he might not look that strong, but he's extremely strong. So when he says he holds on to his racket with like a 3 or 4 out of 10 when he hits his forehands hard, well, there's one specific difference to you. He has way more strength. His 3 or 4 won't be your 3 or 4. Now, obviously, you also don't hit as hard as him, but majority of players, when they try to hit hard, if they already have a few years of experience, can hit a forehand at 60, 70 miles an hour. Now, that doesn't mean that you always do so, but when Federer hits his harder forehands, they're maybe like 80, 85 miles an hour. It's not that much more. So that means when he holds on with a 3 or 4, you probably would have to hold on with like a 2.5 or 3 in terms of Federer's strength. If Federer is twice as strong as you actually have to hold on with now a 5 or 6. So the whole term of holding on with a 3 or 4 out of 10 is relative to somebody's strength. Because of that, the majority of players have a grip that is way too loose because they just listen to 3 or 4 out of 10, copy that, and now lose control over their harder hit shots. Now that we clarified that, let's get into how to hit harder. So if you want to whip your forehands, we obviously need the lag and we need the whipping effect. So we need flexibility in our wrist, which will not diminish if we hit harder, even if we hold on a bit tighter. So now, how do we learn to do that? The first exercise you're going to do, in order to make this easier for yourself, is you're literally just going to grab a ball, hold the racket in Continental grip. I know that's not your forehand grip, most likely. I hope so, at least. But you're going to hold the racket in that grip anyway. And you're going to try to learn to whip your forehand when hitting a ball forward, just like so. It's basically like a coach's feed, but you want to hit the ball kind of from the side. So you're letting the wrist whip back and forth. You see when I do that, I first take my arm back. Now my arm comes forward, my wrist stays back, and then the racket moves forward, right? Very simple, just like so. And then you can try to do the same exercise harder and harder. And you try to, it doesn't really matter where the ball goes, by the way. You can hit it in the net, you can hit it anywhere, just try not to hit it over the back fence. But you can hit it wherever you want, and you try to get harder and harder and harder, and try to get some feeling for controlling these types of shots. So then eventually, if you do like 20, 30 of these, hopefully you're not hitting them all over the court like that, but you're trying to get them more in, even if you hit them up here. Try to get them more towards the court, closer to the net court. Once that becomes a little bit easier for you, we're going to try to transfer that to the forehand. So now when we're hitting our forehand, we want the same type of motion, but with our proper forehand grip. So if we're doing it slowly here, we want to make sure that our arm moves back, then our arm moves forward with our wrist staying back, and then our wrist follows, right? Just like so. Can you go very soft? Don't have to hit it very clean. It doesn't really matter how you start, right? And you just want to get a feeling for that swing, hopefully without hitting your own ball out of your hand like me, and get a feeling for what's happening to the ball with topspin. So once that becomes easier for you, then you're going to have somebody feed the ball for you. You're going to try to hit a regular forehand. You can do it both with a ball machine as well, by the way. It doesn't really matter. And you're trying to do the same thing. In the beginning, again, don't really worry about where the ball goes. It doesn't matter if it's in or not. The only thing that you want to worry about is there topspin on the ball? And do you feel how your wrist lags and your racket stays back before it comes forward, right? What we want to avoid is you hitting like this with a stiff wrist, where the wrist just pushes the racket forward, right? Yeah, you can still hit the ball relatively hard if you swing your arm fast enough, but you're missing all this, the intensifying of the motion that comes from the whipping effect. So we need to really be focused on letting the wrist swing freely while holding on tight enough to control it. Might take you some time to fully control these balls, but I promise you it's going to be worth it, because once you get used to that, you can hit your forehands all out with a ton of topspin and it feels effortless. And that's how you learn how to whip your forehands just like a pro would.
And don't forget to check out our website. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon.